Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we're gonna go through new plans that have just been unveiled by Blizzard Entertainment to acquire or to build an AI or a generative AI model. This is already well in the pipeline, and there's been more and more articles coming out about how AI is going to be used within the gaming industry and how AI can actually disrupt the AI industry. The title of this video, by the way, isn't hyperbolic. It's factual, and you'll understand in a second why I say this. Blizzard right now is making a lot of promises around this AI tool. The AI tool right now is being focused on concept art and also just, sort of building random NPCs within the game. So all of the major characters will still largely be created by actual developers that take the time and effort to really put this together. But for all NPCs, the guards and cities and stuff like that, those will be handled by the AI. And for now, Blizzard is promising that this really is just for concept art. Now, concept art, for those of you that don't know, is the early sort of brainstorming process of the video game. This is where they get their inspiration for what the game will ultimately look like. It's not always the final product, but it is the beginning point of this. Now, Blizzard does say that this is to help developers within the industry. It's called Blizzard Diffusion, for those of you that didn't know, and it's a sort of wordplay on Stable Diffusion, which is actually a very popular generative AI model out in the world that people can use. Now, Blizzard promises that this is only to help make the mundane tasks automated so that developers can focus on more real-world applications. The problem is that if this thing creates concept art, that's like an actual job. There's actual concept artists out there, people that specialize in creating concepts. It's quite difficult if you think about it. If I come to you and I say, I want something, to concept that, to truly create that, the amount of effort and thought that has to go into it, because all of the things around a character, so if you want to create a new character, for example, the world that they live in, the history of their species, the culture of their species, what are they like, what's their demeanor like, all of that goes into the concept art, because all of that is usually derived then from the concept art in order to create the world as you know it. And that's for NPCs, that's for worlds, that's for everything. So this already replaces concept artists if it comes to that. Right now, though, a lot of this is concept artists creating things that then gets fed into the AI, and the AI can then spit out randomized images based on what was fed into it. So for now, these concept artists are very much just, their role is changing. They are consistently going to come up with new concept art to feed into the generative AI process so that it can spit out things. Blizzard's chief design officer, Alan Adam, told employees about the initiative last month in an email that was obtained by the New York Times. The internal tool is called Blizzard Diffusion. Prepare to be amazed, Adam wrote, adding, we are on the brink of a major evolution in how we build and manage our games. Alan Adam is the exact same guy behind Diablo Immortal. Do not forget it. Yes, he is actually the guy that worked and spearheaded Diablo Immortal. It should give you some insights into the kind of guy that that he is, but never mind. There's other companies that do the same thing. Ubisoft, for example, have created an AI that generates and randomizes character lines within their open world games. Not the lines of major characters, but when you're running through a city and you hear someone saying, oh my god, I feel so old now, or whatever the case, right? It makes the world feel more alive. That is all now done by AI. This was oftentimes the job of new writers. So when you're just getting into the industry and you're trying to get your foot in the door, you'll come on and you'll be one of those sort of randomized NPC line writers, right? That'd be your job. So this AI has effectively replaced that. So whichever writers are currently in the industry writing for the major leagues, that's it. Because the new guys are no longer getting their foot in the door. They no longer have the opportunity to really prove themselves to the company. At the end of the day, this already replaced a lot of jobs, or at least potential jobs, which I think is important to understand. For now, the developers do promise that, this isn't going to replace anyone's jobs. This is just to make it better. But here's the problem with that. You're dealing with people like Bobby Kotick and Andrew Wilson from EA.
No! 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 What? It's 3. How do we allow this to happen?
What do you think the chances are if this AI can eventually replace developers? Do you believe that it won't? Do you truly believe that someone like Bobby Kotick is going to sit back and say, you know what? This AI basically does the job of all of our concept artists, but let's keep the concept artists because, you know, we're good guys and we want to keep them employed.
I got my money, bitch!
Hey, don't call me bitch, I'm a grown man!
No, of course not. That's definitely not going to happen. What's going to happen is as this thing gets smarter and as this thing gets more trained, there's going to be a point where this thing no longer really needs human input. It has enough to draw from that it can basically create just about anything. And then remember, everything it creates, it can also then draw from. So effectively, you literally only need someone to create the inputs. And as long as this thing creates and those creations are good, it's going to learn from those creations and it can use those to randomize again and again. And 3-4 years ago, image generators came out and they looked pretty shit. They weren't great. Now you look at it and there are image generators out there like Stable Diffusion that actually create artwork. Things that people look at and no one can tell that this was actually designed and developed by an AI. There are serious problems here. Now, there's also, in the article, they go through a number of warnings from experts in the field about how this is potentially for copyright, and there's potential that things can go very wrong and, you know, all that stuff. I don't really care to focus on that because copyright will sort itself out. People will get sued. Although I must say there is a problem for small independent creators. So people that create art on Etsy and places like that, where their art may actually be scrubbed. And companies like Blizzard Entertainment know full well that if you're just a normal artist on Etsy, there's no way you can sue them. You don't have the money for it. There's nothing you can do. And even if you could, or even if you wanted to, they'll probably just stall until you run out of money anyway. So at the end of the day, these companies will probably use this to steal a lot from smaller developers. The reason for making this video is I think it is an important thing to know. I think it's important to know where Blizzard and other companies are trying to go to. They're trying to get to a place where they no longer need to rely on developers as heavily as they are now. Developers have a lot of demands. Developers want stuff like money, pesky little developers. They want good work environments. AI wants none of that. AI will just do things and it will do it much faster than any human ever could. My problem is, what happens to the heart and soul of a video game? Will AI ever be able to design masterpieces? And I'm talking about games that blow your mind. Games where you look at every scene and you are absolutely taken aback by the incredible detail and emotion that scene captures. And I don't know if AI can do that. There's something about the human psyche, about a human thinking through human emotions as they're going through it, which probably AI will almost never be able to capture, not in its pure, rawest form. And this to me is a problem, not to mention what are we going to do with the thousands of developers that suddenly just find themselves without a job. That's, I think, a pretty big deal and something that we should definitely be looking out for and definitely be a little bit worried about. So, you know, that's the end of the story. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. The article is like super long. Like a lot of it is just fluff and random sort of bits and information about other companies that's also using AI. You already have companies using marketing, you know, AI tools to market their video games. So replacing marketing guys in effect. So at the end of the day, I wanted to bring this story to you. If you found any value from this, if you thought this video was anything good, please remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. What do you think the future of video games is like with AI making the incursions that it is? I'd love to read your comments in the comment section down below. To all of the patrons, the YouTube members, and of course the Twitch subs that make content like this one possible, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Your support is always very much appreciated. For $1 a month, you get access to all of the hentai podcasts every single week and more, so please head over and check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam.